everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and if you're watching Dancing with the Stars, you may know by now that 2 contestants on the show have gotten COVID-19. That's right, Cody Rigsby and Cheryl Burke both tested positive for COVID this past week, and you guys have been sending me questions left and right. Well, what happens now? Are they allowed back on set? How do they perform? I mean, they're still on the show, they're only a couple episodes in. What happens? Well, we're gonna talk about that and more. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. So, let's go ahead and jump back to last Sunday. Last Sunday, Cheryl jumped on Twitter and Instagram and put up a whole video to announce that she got COVID-19. Here's a clip of what she said.
I have really bad news. I am positive, which means I have COVID. I feel so bad for Cody. I feel like I'm letting him down. And it's so overwhelming because it's Sunday and the show's tomorrow.
Now, obviously, she was extremely upset for Cody because if she had COVID-19, she couldn't be on set. And that would mean that Cody would have to go ahead and either sit out an episode or perform by himself. Well, this past Thursday, Cody also announced on Instagram that now he has COVID-19. Here's a clip of his video.
I have tested positive for COVID again, the second time this year.
So this begs the question, how did this happen? There are so many rules and protocols when it comes to celebrities on competing shows. Whether it be The Masked Singer, Dancing with the Stars, so on and so forth, there are so many little hoops and things they have to get through in order just to even get on set. And that's not just the contestants, but also the cast, the crew, the audience. I mean, for The Masked Singer, you had to show a COVID card that you actually got your shot, your last shot, 2 weeks before you even showed up on set. So what are the rules here? Well, I'm gonna break them down for you guys because it's interesting on how this whole thing even panned out, and let's be honest, what they're gonna do to go ahead and actually compete on the show is very unique and something that I don't think we've ever seen before. Let's start off with what the COVID rules are. Now, this is according to an article I read on People magazine. They got a statement from Dancing with the Stars to kind of go through everything. Now, Dancing with the Stars kind of break down different kinds of zones. Zone A, B, and C. Zone A being that you are a celebrity or you're a cast and crew that get in contact with that said celebrity. We're mostly going to talk about that section since, I mean, that's what's happening right now. It's really only cast that really got COVID. When it comes to Zone A, there's a few protocols that they follow. One being you have to be fully vaccinated. So if you're a contestant on the show, you're vaccinated. If you're a crew member that actually interacts with said cast, then you have to be vaccinated. So say you do hair and makeup and you interact with the cast, well, that would mean that you would have to be fully vaccinated so that you can go near said person. Now, if you are, say, a director that never goes in contact with anyone, it's a little bit different with the rules, but for the most part, most of the people on the show are vaccinated. But there are other rules that we can talk about in a second. The next one is actually getting tested weekly. They say regularly, but we all know that means every single week because they compete every single week. They get tested, and I'm pretty sure that's how they found out that they both got COVID. The next thing they have in place is a pod system. A pod system is where the contestants themselves have their own area where they do their hair and makeup, and it's only for the couple. So no one else can go in there with the exception of the hair and makeup person, which once again is tested and of course has their vaccine. Also, supposedly there can't be more than 4 people in one room at a time, so that pod system kind of eliminates people interacting with each other. Of course, they interact on set, but if you notice, they are standing a little bit further apart than normal, so they're not really as close as they would normally be. That's actually another COVID thing. But the interesting one that I want to tell you about is the whole dancing and rehearsing thing. So in order to get around the protocols, they then put these contestants, the partners, the pro partner and the celebrity, in a studio together, and they put a camera in front of them that moves, that can watch their moves and give them pointers. And probably more than likely, there's a monitor and there's probably someone else somewhere else kind of teaching them the dance moves or showing them how to do it properly. So that way, there's really no one else in there except for the couple. Now, there is one more COVID-19 rule that a lot of people are angry with, and even the dancers themselves are angry with because as you know on the show, there's a lot of them that are actually married to each other. The pro dancers are married to each other. Because we have what? There's Val and Jenna, Sasha and Emma, and then I believe there's one more. And according to the rules with Dancing with the Stars, they can't live with each other. That's right. Imagine you're Val and you're married to Jenna, and for the entire course of this show, you can't live with your wife or your husband. You can't. Now, Dancing with the Stars says that it's very necessary because, let's say if, Val got COVID-19 and he's been spending time with Jenna, well, now that's two couples completely out of the show because of COVID-19. And keep in mind that they do follow the CDC guidelines, which is 2 weeks. So that's 2 weeks where 4 people are out of the show. So I understand Dancing with the Stars thing, but how are you not supposed to see your wife or your husband for what? I think it's 15 weeks? Like, that's insane. You're missing a lot. And that can't be real, right? Like, if I was Val, I'd say, screw you, man. I'm gonna go see my wife. I can't go a day without my wife. So I don't get that. Now, let's actually talk about what's gonna happen with Cody and Cheryl, because this is something that I've never seen before, and I don't even know how this is going to work. They really haven't even came forward to say, yo, this is how it's going to work. But the way they're doing this is Cheryl will be in her house, Cody will be in his house, and they're going to dance that way from home on the show. How do you do that? That doesn't make any sense to me, right? Does that make sense to you? Like, I would get it if it's like a, America's Got Talent, because you could be by yourself singing or your own dance moves, but if it's a partner show, where you have a pro dancer and a star, what, they're going to be doing the same dance moves and kind of sync up with each other? What if there's a lag? You're talking about the internet. Let's be honest. Internet connection isn't as strong, and how do they do that live? Because the show is live. Are they going to set it up like a remote? So many questions. Really, no answers. So anyway, that is all that we know about the COVID-19 restrictions and protocols for Dancing with the Stars. This week's episode is really going to be interesting. I want to see how they wind up dancing from home on their own and be judged as though they were dancing there. Because how are you supposed to compare that? You can't. It's like comparing an opera singer to a jazz singer. Completely different. How do you compare them? How do you judge them? You let me know in the comment section what you think about this. I really want to know your opinion. Also, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey, and as always, stay safe. I'll see you later. Bye.